What's up you guys, welcome to our Dream Dot channel and hope you are doing good. For those who are visiting my channel for the first time, let me quickly introduce myself. I am Jagdish Austin, a software developer with around 10 years of experience. So till now we have seen some basics of Java programming, and in a previous video we spoke about looping in Java. That is nothing but we explained about for loop in Java. So what is a loop and how should we execute a loop, what is the syntax of it and how can we use it practically. And we have seen about two versions of for loop, that is a normal for loop which includes initialization, condition and incremental, and we have also seen about enhanced for loop. If you have missed that video, don't forget to check it out in our channel and post your questions in our comment section. So now we are going to see about the two other loops which are available in Java. They are called as while loop and do while loop. Let me quickly reiterate what we saw in for loop. This is the syntax of the for loop. We try to calculate the total of the marks secured by a student, and we took all the marks secured by the student and we stored it in an integer array, and we iterated through that array one by one and we calculated the total, and finally we used that total in finding the average of that particular student. The same task we even did it using enhanced for loop, where you don't have to initialize the variable, you don't have to specify any condition or increment or decrement the value of the variable. Instead, directly you can pass in your array and get the value, each value of the array, and use it for computing the total of the student. And when I run this particular program, it runs fine. So total using the for loop is 409 and enhanced for loop also returns the same result. Now let us see how can we achieve the same result using while loop. Basically, looping is nothing but executing the statement again and again unless the condition is satisfied. So this is one such example that I am giving you. Practically, you can use it for n number of purposes, and which is a very important concept in Java. So let's see about the while statement. So while loop syntax something will look like this: while a condition and open and close parenthesis, and whatever the statement that needs to be executed should be written within this particular parenthesis. And here is where we need to write in the condition. So let me take this. Let's use the same array like the marks array which has already been given. So let me initialize the variable as 0, and I need to calculate the total of the student. Let it be the total marks secured by the student. Let it also be 0. If I is less than marks dot length, okay, I need to compute the total. So total marks equals total marks plus of marks of I, and I need to increment the variable. And now outside this loop, if I try to print total using while loop is, I need to just print in the total marks. Now if I run this particular program, yes, total is 409 using while loop. Let me quickly example how this works. So in for loop we have been specifying like initializing the variable and checking the condition and incrementing everything in a single line or in a single step. But in while loop we do it in various things. So first we initialize a variable, then whatever the logic that you have to put on, so whatever is required for it we can put that out, and the condition you specify it over here and you increment it inside that particular loop. This is the difference between a for loop and the while loop. It's almost the same, and you can use it based on your circumstances. You can use whichever the loop is better for you. You can use that particular looping. So initially I value is 0, so first time it will enter the loop. I value is less than marks dot length. So what is the length of mark? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So length of that array is 5. Yes, 0 is less than 5. So total marks which is 0 plus mark of 0. So mark of 0. 0 is nothing but 100. As I told you, index of array always starts with 0 and not with 1. The size of the array is 5, but the index starts with 0. 0, 88 will be in the index value 1. 98 in 2, 45 in 3 and 78 in 4, though the length of the array is 5. That's the difference between the length of the array and the index. Index starts with 0 and ends with 4, but the length of the array is 5. Now if I run this particular program, you will end up having the total marks as 409. This is one other looping statement which is available in Java. There is one other loop called as the do while loop. So there is a basic difference between a do while loop and the other loops. In all the other loops that we have seen, whether it can be a for loop or it can be a while loop or an enhanced for loop, in all these loops the statement will get executed only if the condition is true. If the condition fails, statement will not get executed. For instance, imagine if I make I is greater than marks dot length. So I initially it is 0, 0 is greater than 5, no, it will fail. So if you run this particular program, see, total using the while loop is 0, total marks will get, because it will not get executed. If the condition fails, the loop will not get executed. But if you take do while loop, even though the condition fails, the statement will get executed at least once. Let's quickly compute the same total using the do while loop. So do while loop syntax will look something like this: do this particular statement while the condition is this. Okay, and here let me put the same thing, and I equals 0, and I'm going to calculate. So since I already used I variable, I'm using j, total marks 1. Okay, let it be 0, and here I'm going to calculate the, let me use the same code, total marks of j and j plus plus, and the condition should be I less than, for us it is j over here, j less than marks dot length. So I am using total marks 1, let's use total marks 1, and outside this let's try to run this particular program. So total using do while loop is total marks 1. If I run this particular program now, yes, even here the total has got computed perfectly. So even here the concept is the same. First you have to initialize a variable, and you have to set in the condition, and you have to increment. In all the loopings this is same. You have to initialize a variable, set in a condition, increment or decrement it, and you can put in the calculation whatever you wanted to inside this statement. So this is how it gets executed. But in enhanced for loop you don't have to initialize a variable or like check for a condition, or you don't have to increment or decrement. As long as the value resides in the particular array, it will just come one by one and you can do a manipulation. But initially I told you some basic difference between while loop and do while loop. Here first it executes the statement and then it checks for the condition. So there are more chances of the statement getting executed at least once, even when the condition fails. For example, let's do the same thing. If j is greater than marks dot length, let's see what is the total. Run as Java application. Yes, 100. But if you do the same thing over here using a while loop, it returns 0. The reason is, here if the condition fails, the statement will not get executed, it will skip it and straight away it will come out of the loop. But whereas in do while loop, since first it is executing the statement and then it is checking for a condition, it gets executed at least once even when the condition fails. So in practical example, if you want to execute something irrespective of the condition at least once, then you can go with do while loop. After that it will check for the condition and will execute the loop. Hope you find this video helpful. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and comment your questions in the comment section. I am sure we'll reply for it. If not, we'll just create a video out of it. Thank you so much.